Welcome to Simplexity podcast series. In this episode, we will be delving upon a topic embracing life's golden opportunities. To discuss this topic, we have a Chief Learning and Development Officer, an author, a coach, a mentor, a guest lecturer, L&D expert, and over and above is a human. He has many awards and recognitions across the industry. He is a Learning Leader of the Year, Golden Aim Award winner, Coaching and Training Leader, one of the 101 L&D global leaders across the globe, and his 3 books are 6 Seasons for Success, Speak Easy, and the latest one is Mic in the Tiny Hands. This is for the school kids, how to do public speaking. I'm very proud to welcome Dr. Anand Reddy, who is a CLO at Hetero Drugs, and he will be discussing with us on embracing the life's golden opportunity. Anand, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepak. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's so nice having you in the podcast, and I'm very happy you are here. Such a learned person sharing the thoughts about a very important topic, which is closer to definitely my heart. And any stories which you in your experience you have seen, and are there anything that you would like to share?
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe I would like to share one of those from my personal experience as well, because that is what something which motivated me, something which made me to be what I am today. I hail from a small village from India. So in our village, we were almost 8 families of our own family surname. And we are being called as people who cannot read, who cannot educate properly. So we were almost being treated as only the workers who can support the other people. Those wordings which were ringing in my ears, I couldn't digest. I said, why is that this stigma should come into my life? Can I do something different? That's where I decided, let me be one of the topmost educated person in this village. And that's a route. And looking back, I don't have financial support because it's a very poor family. We hardly had 1 or 2 meals a day to eat. So we did not know what to do, but my aim is very high. The first thing that I did is that let me study properly, whatever that I'm being supported by from my family. Believe me, first 3-4 years, till the 4th class, I was the topper in the class. And then, I don't know, then suddenly some school teacher said, I will sponsor my education for the high school. And that's where I got my education sponsored till 10th. Then after 10th, I wanted to stop and then start working on some skill-based coaching so that, I can start earning for my family. But the inspiration of the missionaries and the missionaries, they said, we will sponsor your education further because you are a bright student. Immediately I picked up and then I took their support. I went to the others to see. And today, I would proudly say, I am the highest qualifying in terms of education in my village. I have a doctorate. I have 2 masters. I have 3 degrees and 4th degrees on. I have done so many international certificates, books, articles published, appeared in channels. So today I would proudly say that I have changed the things, the perspective of the people. Now, what I want to say in line with the story, it's not, life is not always the same. Was provided you take opportunities from what is available.
Well, that's an amazing story, Anand, and I'm very proud that I'm talking to you today and knowing some of the real challenges which you have gone through, and today standing very high with a doctorate and having 4 degrees with you and writing 3 books. It is definitely appreciable thing that what you have achieved for your village, your family, and for at least for me, definitely yes. You're making a lot of difference for us. What? How? How do you? I'll put it in a different way. What are some misconceptions people have about dealing with this? Getting, when there is an opportunity, right? Uh, how to overcome that? Like, they don't see that as an opportunity, as a challenge.
Yeah, this, I think there are a lot of people who struggle with this challenge to be seen as opportunity or a threat. Maybe I'll substantiate how this is conceived by the people. A father has 2 sons, and the father is a drunkard. Every day he drinks and comes home, beats wife, and makes all kind of nuisance and everything. The 2 children sees the father, and then that starts growing. Once they grow up, one becomes like a father who also is a drunkard and who beats the family, who does the same activities of the father. The other is just the opposite. He doesn't drink, but he shows more care and love towards the family. Now, if you look at the 2 cases, one sees a challenge as it's my life. What can I do about it? I have to live with it. On the contrary, the other person sees why life is like this. Why can't I see from a different perspective? Now, that's where the winners emerge. If you do not see life from a different perspective, then you get succumb to the existing circumstances. So, what we suggest, challenges are common. Everybody faces a challenge. If there is no challenge, there is no beauty to life. But how do you deal with those challenges? What is the kind of perspective and approach you have towards that particular challenge is what makes you to be a winner.
In the concept of simplicity we are talking about, how does simple things or simplest possible things will change the perspective? So how someone can pick up something which is so simple but then so effective?
Wonderful. I always keep speaking. Wherever I speak, I say life is very simple. Don't make it too complex. But we are too intelligent and we want to make life to be very complex. It's a very simple. In fact, this morning I was reading something very interesting. There was a group of people who go to the hotel, 5 intelligent people, so-called intelligent people. They go to the hotel. And then while sitting at the table, they happen to see those salt bottle and pepper bottles on the table placed. But when one person tries to take some salt, the pepper comes from there. The fellows get so irritated and says, how is this possible? And then they wanted to ensure that those two do not get mixed. So they make some plate, and then some kerchief, some straw, all kind of things they ask from the waiter. And then waiter asks, why do you require all those things, sir? He says, no, you have misplaced it and it's so stupid of you. How can you do that? And this waiter comes and says, he just looks at it. He simply picks up both the caps, just exchanges the caps. Now, similarly, we always think about from a huge perspective where solutions are groundly rooted. Now, small, minute change to your thinking, to your perspective, to your interactions will give you superb results. So be grounded when you want to look for solutions from the challenges.
Amazing. In our coaching, Marshall Goldsmith coaching, we talk about humility and being seeing things as simple as possible. I think you're bringing up a very important point, that how humility can help us to be grounded and focus on what we need to focus. Thank you, Dr. Anand. What role does family, friends, or people around us play in shaping up our way of thinking, especially when we have to embrace an opportunity, a golden opportunity? So how does the environment come into picture?
I think environment plays a vital role, because it's all your upbringing which forms you and shapes you. So the way your friends speak, the way your family supports. But at the same time, I would say, don't again get yielded to the pressures of your surroundings. See, it's always common. As I said in the initial stages, everybody in the village probably said, you people cannot study, so therefore you work hard. And if I kept on hearing those, and if I said this is what, I would not have come up. Probably out of so many people, maybe my mother or maybe somebody who said, we are like this, why can't you be a different? That one question maybe worked as a spark for me. Or probably this is what I am seeing. I would see the fire in those ashes. That fire lit me a spark. Environment is good. But again, control or modify the situations as per your desires and needs. If you cannot control it, obviously the others control us.
Yeah, that's a very important thing. Having an environment where, like you gave an example earlier, also it's the same environment. There are two children. One grows up like a dad and becomes sort of aggressive person, and here is the other person who grows up and becomes a caretaker or a gentleman. In that way, one is mindset. It is important, as you rightly said, what you want to be in the future. The other one is being humble, you mentioned, and trying to be grounded and trying to take things, making simple things. And in the way things are going, there are a lot of individuals around us. They're having challenges, right? They don't get motivated by small things happening around them. Is it that every time there is something big has to happen so that we become big, or how do they take up the small steps to grow? Is there an example which you can share to the audience so that they can relate themselves to the situation?
Yeah, I think I have a ready-made examples to tell. This is always I say. Maybe let me give you one analogy first, and then followed by maybe my example of how I did, how that inspired me. If you want to, if you're walking in the dark where there's no light, and you have a torch in your hand, and you want to walk almost 3 kilometers distance, you can't switch on a torch and say that I'm not able to see my house, which is 3 kilometers away, therefore I can't walk. The other perspective, let me switch on the torch. Torch is able to show me some 5 meters distance light. Let me walk till those 5 meters. Now, when you start walking those 5 meters, this keep on increasing. That's how you reach 3 kilometers. So when you see the goal in a huge, it may be probably difficult, but if you see small, in small pieces, it becomes easy. And I'll tell you my example. I've been dreaming of writing a book because, as I said, I wanted to be in the market and register all my those things. So I've been looking at, I was not able to write. I tried collaborating with other people. I couldn't write it. I was under frustration for some time. Why is that I'm not able to achieve what I wanted to do it? Then I looked at my goal as a very big. And this again, a clue from one of the books which I was reading, actually speaking. I was reading a lot of novels. Suddenly, I switched on to one management book I was reading, which I found there are a lot of chapters, almost 15, 20 chapters in that. Then I said, let me not look at this book as a complete book. Let me look at it as each chapter. That's a spark which came. So immediately what I said, I have a concept ready to write. That concept I have divided into 6 chapters, which is the 6 seasons of success, the first book which I have written. I have asked one of the publisher who publishes monthly magazine. I told him, would you mind if I send you every month one article which is related to this? He said, absolutely fine, sir. We are looking for some writers. Then I have written first article, and he said, sir, your article got a very huge fan follow. So would you mind writing every month for next 6 months consecutively? I said, yes. And every month by dot 25th of the month, I used to send an article to him. By 5th of the month, magazine used to come to my table. Now that's how 6 months I have written 6 articles on the topics that I wanted to write, 6 seasons. Then with his permission, I said, now would you mind compiling this into a book? He permitted, and then we have written that book as a 6 seasons of success, which is hard work of, though it is 9 months hard work to write, but I would call it as almost 15 years of hard work because I've been pondering to write a book. That's how I'm saying, when there is a goal, good to have a bigger goal, but at the same time, can you break down that into a smaller goal? And every time the article got published, it was a tremendous joy and motivation for me because I shared with everybody, with my colleagues, and I said, I'm going to publish one more article next week, please read. Which is a joy of celebration because it's published, which is a commitment for the next month's article again. That's how I was able to do it. That's how we can wonderfully achieve the bigger results by having a smaller goals, smaller targets, smaller celebrations.
That's amazing. I think your journey reminds me of my journey of writing Simplexity. Actually, you mentioned that you were overjoyed when you held the article in your hand. When this book came to my hand, I was sitting in the same place when I ordered before a book. I was sitting here, and I opened it, and that were author copy, and tears rolled off my eyes. And it's just 100 page, 110 page book, and I relate a couple of things what you said, Dr. Anand, especially coming from non-English speaking background, not reading English and studying English till some stage, and living in different part of the world. When I started thinking of writing a book, I think it was just a dream. It was just a dream. And that is one of the dreams in this book. There is a chapter by name Dreams, how small dreams can fulfill a bigger goal. So you touched upon a couple of things from this book. I think that I think it made my day now. It is definitely worthwhile having small steps. And we say in the corporate world that, one step at a time, fail fast. And definitely these are the things which will help us to fail fast and grow better.
True.
Moving on in our discussion, I think uh, knowing your time, I want to be little constrained. uh, how do you think that we could help our next generation, or the people who would need support in taking up these challenges in life? And uh, I call it as an opportunity, right? When there is a golden opportunity knocking your door, how should someone pick it up? And what is that one should think when there is an opportunity knocking their doors? What, how do they think that is the opportunity they need to pick it up? Is there a golden ticket like that?
See, there are different perspectives for this. Opportunity may not strike everybody's door. And today, you don't need to wait for opportunity to strike your door. Today, the situation is so much. Every youngster can create an opportunity. In our days, we used to wait. We used to look for, because limited resources, limited facilities. But today, you don't need to worry about your financials. There's a gig style of work. You don't need to worry about resources. There's a lot of technology. You don't need to worry about what people think about how do I market my own products. There's a lot of socialization which is happening through technology. Social networks are very vibrant. Now, every youngster should focus on how do I create an opportunity for myself in the area which I am desiring to succeed. It's a simple example. Maybe when I've written this book some 7 years ago or 8 years ago, I was not too much aware about the podcast or maybe putting in the social media. But today, as soon as I wrote my third book, the next day it was in the social media. And it's an easy access. So we should look at every situation as an opportunity. But the primary thing, what every individual I advise the youngsters to have is that the primary goal towards which you would like to travel. If that goal is not there, every path that comes to you, you start deviating towards that, where you will not end up anywhere. So my advice is that have a primary goal, what you want to do it, then create opportunities to reach towards that particular goal.
Such an motivational information for the people, those who want to build their next phase of life, and trying to be in the next, how to embrace a golden opportunity and take it up. As you rightly said, there is no one holding a golden ticket, but then you make your way on your own, and you build your credentials, you build your capabilities. And we all go through these emotions. Yeah, it is something which is very personal to each one of us. And it takes lots of courage, humility, and discipline. These are the three key things which are required, like Anand was talking about. You should be, down to earth, and We should have a proper environment, proper systems, and support and willpower. These are some of the things which would definitely help in moving from where we are to where we are heading. And having a goal, and it can be a big goal, but break it down into small goals that would each that patch analogy is really interesting, which I had not thought through till now. It so makes clearer. Yeah, that's definitely gives us a perspective, so we can see how much we can see, but then let us cross that, then still that light is there. Amazing thought process, Dr. Anand. What is your next phase of opportunity, golden opportunity, which you are looking at, and how is it looking for you, and is there anything that you would like to share?
Maybe on the, I would like to be like in a Deepak's place doing a podcast with some world renowned leaders.
This is the easiest one. This is the easiest one, Anand.
I know, I understand. Okay. So the my goal, what I have is that see, I've started getting into writing the books, and I've started leading an organization today as a CLO of the huge organization with a 30,000 plus workforce across the globe. So now the main aim, there are two things that I have. One is, as a personally, what is that? I mean, I want to be one of the prominent speaker across the globe. So maybe I wouldn't say that I would reach the stage of a Marshall Goldsmiths, and it's of God's blessings. I would reach definitely there, but at least I want to be one of the renowned speakers across the globe, with a lot of articles published, knowledge sharing, whatever the way that's possible. And second goal, what I have is that maybe once I achieve or in the process of achieving, is there something that I can do to the society? People who are like me in the villages, who are not able to, look at the way, brighter side. Can I be of help to them to bring up and maybe mold them like me or maybe better than me? These are the two things that I've been thinking. One is personal achievement. Second one is maybe a service orientation as a gratitude towards the nation or maybe to the world.
Thanks a lot. I wish you all the success, and I pray that you would fulfill your dreams. And thank you for sharing your thoughts with us in this podcast. This podcast is more of how we can have simple things to define ourselves and our future. So with that, how can, if someone wants to get connected with you, how can someone get connected with you?
Yeah, they can reach out to me through LinkedIn, which is available, and also they can write a mail to me. Probably if somebody wants to get into or maybe want a coaching or maybe some kind of suggestions, once we get in the social media, if they're based on the need, I can always share my number and they can reach out to me.
Thanks a lot, Anand. Such a wonderful talking to you this evening, and I'm pretty excited for your next phase of life, and I would want to be part of your journey, wherever is possible. I would love to engage with you and proceed or have a collective journey together. And
most welcome, Deepak. Because all the good souls come together, we create a brighter future.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate, and you have a wonderful evening and rest of the day. Thank you, Dr. Anand.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Deepak. Thank you very much for inviting me.